Welcome to Learn English for Conversation.
Hello and welcome to the deep dive. We're so glad you're here with us today. We're doing something a little different, but something incredibly important and honestly pretty exciting. Today, we're going to take a deep dive into some material you've shared with us that is designed to help you take the very, very first steps in speaking English.
The absolute beginnings.
Exactly. Imagine this. You want to say hello, tell someone your name, maybe ask some simple questions, and actually understand the answers. That's our mission today. We're going to pull out the absolute essentials from these sources, simple phrases and rules that you need to start having basic conversations in English.
Yes, and we're going to go very slowly. That's really key here. We'll explain everything in simple words and pay extra special attention to how the words actually sound.
Pronunciation, right?
Pronunciation is huge for beginners, so this deep dive is designed to help you not just know the phrases, but to feel comfortable and confident saying them yourself. We'll break down everything step by step, using examples straight from the materials so you can follow along and hopefully practice with us. We'll focus on understanding what to say, how to say it, and why certain sounds and words are, well, important.
Okay, let's unpack this then and jump right in. Where do you even start when you meet someone new? What's the first thing? Our source material gives us a fantastic example conversation to look at.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Picture yourself at a party, maybe meeting a friend's friend for the first time. This conversation is between two people, Todd and Matt.
And this short exchange is just a few lines, really, but it actually shows us many of the crucial first steps you take when meeting someone. We'll read just a small part of it, then we'll pause, talk about it, and really practice the sounds, slow and steady.
Sounds perfect. So in this example conversation, Todd starts things off. He thinks he knows who Matt is. Maybe John told him Matt would be there, something like that. Todd says, "Hi, you must be John's cousin, Matt Wright, from San Diego."
Okay, let's stop right there. That first bit.
Hi, you must be John's cousin, Matt, right? Let's look at that. You must be. This is a really common way to start if you have an idea, like a strong feeling about who the person might be. Maybe someone mentioned them.
Right. When Todd says you must be, he's making a guess.
Okay.
A pretty confident guess.
Yeah, not just any guess. He thinks it's very probable, very likely, that this person is John's cousin named Matt. It's like saying, "I am almost certain you are John's cousin Matt."
And then he adds that little word at the end.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a very common and really easy way to turn a statement into a question in informal English. Casual conversation.
It's like asking, is this true? Or am I correct about this?
Exactly. And your voice, your intonation, it goes up at the end when you say, right.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, right.
Right.
Like that, it's a quick way of just checking your information. You are John's cousin Matt. Is that true? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Now, let's focus on the sounds in that opening line, because that's key for beginners. First, the phrase must be.
Mm-hmm.
Must be. Together, these words often sound a little like must be. The T sound at the end of must often connects, sort of blends, directly into the B sound in be.
Must be. Try saying that. Must be. Can you hear it? Must be.
So, you must be. Try saying that part. You must be.
Okay, now the word right. R-I-G-H-T.
With that tricky ig.
Exactly. This is one of those English words where some letters are just silent. They're written, but you don't say them.
So the G and H together in the middle here.
Silent. Gone. So right sounds just like rye-tea. Think of the grain rye, R-Y-E.
Like rye bread.
Exactly like rye bread. And then just add a T sound at the end. Rye-tea.
Alrighty.
Let's practice saying right.
Okay.
Remember, because it's a question here, your voice needs to go up at the end. Right.
Try with us. Righty. Again. Right?
Good. So let's try putting that whole first phrase together now, slowly, like Todd said it. Hi, you must be John's cousin Matt, right?
Say it with us. Hi. You must be John's cousin Matt.
And he added, from San Diego.
Ah,
That's just asking for a bit more information, confirming where Matt is from.
great. So that's how Todd starts, makes a confident guess, checks it with right. How does Matt respond? Todd guessed correctly.
Matt confirms it. He says, correct. I just got in last night.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at that word.
Correct. This is simple, very clear, and quite a strong way to say yes, what you said is true.
It means you are correct.
Exactly. It's often used as a short answer like this, just meaning that is correct. It feels maybe a little stronger or perhaps a bit more formal than just saying yes.
Okay, let's focus on the sound. C-O-R-E-C-T. Correct.
It sounds like correct, two parts.
Yeah.
The first part sounds like like K-O-H.
Co?
The second part sounds like rect, R-E-K-T.
Huh.
Put them together, correct. And the emphasis, the stress, the louder part is on that second sound, rect.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Try saying correct.
Yeah.
Say it with some energy, like Matt confirming. Correct.
Perfect. Then Matt adds a bit more. I just got in last night.
What does I just got in mean? I just got in is a really common way to say, I arrived a very short time ago. Maybe an hour ago, maybe just now. I just got in.
Okay. And last night.
Last night simply means the evening or night before today. So yesterday evening, Matt arrived yesterday evening.
Got it. Let's practice the phrase last night. How do those sounds work together?
Well, the is sound at the end of last often connects quite smoothly to the in sound at the beginning of night. So it's like last night.
Last night. Try saying last night. One more time. Last night.
Good. So Matt confirmed Todd was correct
Correct.
and gave a little extra information about when he arrived. I just got in last night.
Okay, so what happens next in the conversation? Todd needs to introduce himself properly now, right?
Exactly. He guessed who Matt was. Matt confirmed. Now Todd says who he is.
Todd says, I'm Todd, John's roommate from tech. Glad to meet you. I can assure you that I'm not anything like what John has told you.
Okay, let's break that down. There are some key parts here for meeting someone.
The first bit is the simple introduction. I'm Todd.
Yes, I'm Todd. This is one of the most basic, most common, and most important ways to tell someone your name in English. I'm.
And I'm is the short way, the contraction for I am.
Exactly. And you use it all the time in spoken English. It's much more common than saying I am in casual chat.
So how does I'm sound?
I'm. It sounds just like the word aim. A-I-M, like you aim an arrow. Aim. Try saying I'm. Just that sound. I'm.
I'm.
Now practice putting your own name after it. Slowly. I'm your name. Try it again. I'm your name. This is absolutely fundamental. Practice it.
So Todd says, I'm Todd. Then he adds some context. John's roommate from tech.
This explains his connection to John. A roommate is someone you share a living space with, like an apartment or maybe a room in a dormitory.
Roommate. How does that sound?
Roommate sounds like roommate. Two parts.
Yeah.
Room, like a bedroom,
That meant
and A8, just like the number 8, A-Y-T.
roommate.
Put them together. Roommate. And the stress, the louder part, is on the first syllable, room. Roommate. Try saying roommate.
Roommate. Got it. Okay, next. Todd says something very important and polite.
Yes, a key phrase.
Glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you. This is a standard phrase you use when you meet someone for the very first time. It simply means, I am happy to meet you.
And glad just means happy.
Yes, glad means happy or pleased.
So, glad to meet you. How does that sound altogether?
The phrase glad to meet you often sounds like glad to meet you. The word glad is pronounced pretty much like it's spelled. G-L-A-D. Glad.
Glad.
The word to in the middle often sounds like to. T-O-O.
Two.
Meet sounds like M-E-T, meet. And you sounds like Y-O-U. So, glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you. Where's the stress?
Usually on glad and meet. Glad to meet you.
Okay, let's practice saying that slowly, piece by piece. Glad to meet you.
Now try saying the whole phrase more naturally. Glad to meet you. Try it again. Glad to meet you. This is a really crucial phrase to learn.
Definitely. Now, Todd's last sentence in that bit, I can assure you that I'm not anything like what John has told you.
Ah, yes. That's a bit more advanced, and it's actually Todd making a joke.
Right, like John probably told Matt some funny or maybe embarrassing stories about Todd.
Exactly. So while it's part of natural conversation, for you as a beginner, the really key parts to focus on there are the introduction, I'm Todd, and the polite phrase, glad to meet you.
Okay, so we've seen Todd introduce himself, I'm Todd, and say he's glad to meet Matt, glad to meet you. Now, how does Matt respond to meeting Todd?
Matt responds politely too. He says, I'm happy to meet you too, and yes, I have heard about you, football player and party animal extraordinaire.
Okay, another polite response first. I'm happy to meet you too.
Yes. This phrase, happy to meet you, means exactly the same thing as glad to meet you. They're interchangeable.
So, just another way to say you feel pleased or glad to meet the person.
Precisely. The word happy, H-A-P-P-Y. Now that H sound at the beginning is important in English. It's a little puff of air out of your mouth. Yes. Happy. It sounds like happy. 2 syllables. The stress is on the first part. Happy. Try saying happy.
Happy.
Good. Now let's practice saying the whole phrase, happy to meet you. Slowly. Happy to meet you.
Now, say it naturally. Happy to meet you. Try it again. Happy to meet you.
Now notice Matt added a very important little word at the end. To. T-O-O.
I'm happy to meet you too. Why the two?
Good question. When someone says glad to meet you or happy to meet you to you first, like Todd did to Matt, and you want to say the same thing back, you add to. It means also.
Ah, so it's like saying I am also happy to meet you.
Exactly. It shows you share the feeling.
And how does two sound?
The word to, T-O-O, sounds exactly like the number 2, T-W-O, just 2.
Q.
Let's practice the whole phrase Matt said. I'm happy to meet you too. Say it slowly with us. I'm happy to meet you too.
Now, try saying more naturally. I'm happy to meet you too. Try it again. I'm happy to meet you too. This is another really essential polite response.
Definitely worth practicing.
Then Matt confirms he's heard of Todd. And yes, I have heard about you. And he mentions what he heard. Football player and party animal extraordinaire.
Right. A football player is just someone who plays the sport, football. A party animal. Well, that's an informal, often funny way to describe someone who really loves parties and goes to a lot of them.
And extraordinaire, that sounds fancy.
It is a bit fancy. It's actually a word borrowed from French, but we use it in English sometimes to mean someone who is exceptionally good or remarkable at something.
So here it's used humorously.
Yes, very humorously. Matt is joking that Todd is a very big party animal, exceptionally so. The pronunciation is something like extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire. Okay, that's a longer one.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't worry about using it right away, but it's interesting to hear how sounds can combine in English. The main point is the joke.
Got it. So that first small conversation snippet, it really showed us the basic steps, didn't it?
It did.
Maybe guess who someone is? Ask right. Confirm with correct. Introduce yourself using I'm name. And say you're glad to meet you or happy to meet you.
Those are the absolute building blocks for starting a conversation when you meet someone.
And the good news is the source material gives us even clearer rules for these introductions, laid out step by step.
Yes. Beyond just the example, it gives the fundamental structures.
Right. So the simplest and probably the most common way to say your own name is?
I'm your name.
We already practiced this one. Remember, I'm is the short form of I am, and it sounds just like aim.
Aim.
Say it again with your name. I'm your name. Practice it a few times right now. I'm your name. I'm your name.
This is maybe the most important phrase to learn first.
Absolutely. Now, the sources also say you can use another phrase. My name's your name.
My name's, okay, how is that different from I'm?
Well, my name's is the short form, the contraction of my name is.
Ah, okay. My name is becomes my name's.
Exactly. And it sounds like my name's. The word name sounds like name.
Adding the "as" makes it sound like names. The stress is on name. My name's. Try saying just my name's.
My name's.
Now add your name. My name's your name. Practice that one. My name's your name. My name's your name.
So both I'm name and my name's name are good.
Yes, both are very common and perfectly fine for introducing yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe I am is slightly more common in very casual chat, but both are great.
Good to know. The source also mentions that in informal situations, like meeting friends or at a casual party like the one Todd and Matt are at, you can simply say, "Hi, I'm your name," and often offer a handshake.
The handshake. A common custom in many English-speaking cultures. You offer your right hand, grasp the other person's right hand, and give a brief, firm shake.
Okay, so we can say our own name using I'm or my names. What if we're with someone else, like a friend or maybe a colleague, and we want to introduce them to someone?
Good question. The source tells us the simple, standard way to do this for one other person is, this is name.
This is name, just like that.
Just like that. It's a standard phrase when you're introducing one person. It doesn't matter if they are standing right next to you or a little bit away. You use this is.
Okay, let's practice the pronunciation of this is.
Sure. This sounds like THIS, this. The sound is made with your tongue just behind your teeth, this.
This.
And it is sounds like IS, is, with a Z sound at the end, is.
Yeah.
Put them together smoothly. This is. Try saying this is.
This is. Where's the stress?
Usually on this. This is. Now let's practice introducing one person using the names from our conversation. This is John. Say that. This is John.
This is John.
Or this is Mary. Say that. This is Mary.
This is Mary.
Now try introducing someone you know, maybe a friend or family member. Just say the phrase, this is their name. Practice it. This is their name.
Okay, simple enough for one person. This is name. What if you want to introduce more than one person at the same time, like two friends?
Ah, yes. The source points out a key difference here. For more than one person, you don't say, this is. You say, these are names.
Okay, so listen to the difference. For one person, it's this is. For more than one person, it's these are.
Exactly. These, THESE, is the plural form of this. THIS.
How does these are sound?
These sounds like THESE. These. Again, the sound, then ease.
Keys.
And R sounds like ARER, like the letter R. Put them together. These are, the stress is usually on these are. Try saying these are.
These are.
Okay, now let's practice introducing two people. The source gives an example like, these are my friends, Susan and Bob. Say that phrase. These are my friends, Susan and Bob.
These are my friends, Susan and Bob.
You can also add information after the name, just like Todd did with roommate, for example. This is name my coworker.
Right, we learned roommate. What about coworker? Remind us what that means.
A coworker is simply someone you work with in the same job or company. Coworkers.
And the sound? Coworker.
It sounds like coworker. 3 parts. Co, then were. Like W-O-R-K, but softer K, then co. Coworker. The stress is on the first part. Coworker. Try saying coworker.
Coworker. So let's practice introducing one coworker. This is Jim, my coworker. Try saying that sentence. This is Jim, my coworker.
Very good. Now, the source gives one more way to introduce multiple people. Another option.
What's that?
You can say, I want you to meet names.
I want you to meet. Okay, that sounds quite direct.
It is quite direct. It clearly states your intention. I want you to meet these people. It's friendly and common.
How does that phrase sound, I want you to meet?
It often sounds like, I want you to meet.
Yeah.
Sounds like I. Want sounds like want. You often gets reduced a bit to sound like you, or even yeah. To often sounds like to, and meet sounds like meet.
I want you to meet, okay?
Let's put it together. I want you to meet, try the whole phrase. I want you to meet Susan and Bob. Say that. I want you to meet Susan and Bob.
I want you to meet Susan and Bob. Try it again. I want you to meet Susan and Bob. Great.
So let's just quickly recap the simple ways to introduce yourself and others. These are really essential phrases. For yourself, I'm name or my name's name.
Mm-hmm.
For one other person, this is name.
Right.
For more than one person, these are names, or you could say, I want you to meet names.
Exactly. Those are the basic building blocks.
Let's quickly repeat the most basic ones again. Practice saying your own name and introducing one person right now. Say, I'm your name, and say, this is someone's name. Practice those a couple of times. They're really useful.
Okay, wonderful. So you've learned how to introduce yourself and how to introduce other people. What happens after that? What do you say back? In part 3, the source explains how to respond politely when you meet someone after the introduction has happened.
That's right. It's polite and it's kind of expected to say something after someone says, I'm Sarah, or this is Tom. You need to respond.
And the source gives us 2 very common and perfectly polite ways to do this. You've already heard them in the example conversation.
Okay. The first one is, glad to meet you. We heard Todd use this when he met Matt.
Glad to meet you. And remind us, glad means happy.
Yes, glad to meet you means I am happy to meet you. We practiced the sounds already. Glad to meet you.
Let's try saying it naturally again. Glad to meet you. Practice it. Glad to meet you.
The second common response.
Happy to meet you. We heard Matt use this phrase when responding to Todd.
Right. And happy to meet you means exactly the same thing as glad to meet you. You're just saying you are pleased to meet the person. Your choice which one to use.
And remember the sound of happy? That little esh puff of air at the start? Happy!
Let's say happy to meet you slowly again. Happy to meet you.
No, try saying it naturally. Happy to meet you. Practice it. Happy to meet you.
Good. Now, there was something else the source material showed about these phrases. Sometimes words were underlined.
Yes, good point. For example, it might show glad to meet you or happy to meet you too with you or you and too underlined.
What does that underlining mean?
The source explains that when words are underlined like this, it's a guide for pronunciation. It means those specific words are pronounced slightly louder than the others in the phrase. It adds a little emphasis. Stress.
Okay. So it helps make the meaning clearer or more natural.
Exactly. So when you say glad to meet you, you make the word you just a little bit stronger, a little louder. Try saying that, emphasizing you. Glad to meet you. Say it again. Glad to meet you.
Okay, I hear that slight emphasis. And what about happy to meet you too?
Here, you emphasize both you and too. Remember, adding to means also, so you're making both parts clear. Try saying that, emphasizing you and too. Happy to meet you too. Say it again. Happy to meet you too.
Happy to meet you too. Got it. That emphasis really does make it sound more natural, more friendly somehow.
It does. So just to summarize, when you meet someone, you can respond with glad to meet you or happy to meet you.
And if they said one of these phrases to you first, you can add to at the end of your response to show you feel the same way. Happy to meet you too.
Let's practice these key responses one more time. Repeat after us. Glad to meet you.
Glad to meet you.
Happy to meet you.
Happy to meet you.
And if someone said it to you first, happy to meet you too.
Happy to meet you too. Keep practicing these until they feel really easy and automatic.
Definitely. Moving on. In part 4, the source material gives us some really simple ways to check if something you think is true is actually correct. And also how to respond when someone checks information with you.
Right. This part is all about confirming details, making sure you understand each other. The 2 simple ways the source shows us are using right at the end of a sentence and using the word correct.
We already saw right in action in the opening of the conversation. Todd said, "You must be John's cousin Matt, right?"
And we said right is a very common, quite informal way to ask, is this true? Or, am I correct? It just tags onto the end of a statement.
So you make a statement that you believe is true, like, this bus goes downtown, and then you just add right to ask the other person to
Ah.
confirm, this bus goes downtown right.
Exactly. And remember the sound. Rye. With a silent shoe. And crucially, when it's a question like this at the end of a sentence, your voice goes up. That rising intonation signals the question.
Let's practice some examples from the source again. Really focus on that rising sound at the end on right.
Okay, first one. This train goes to Washington, right? Say it. This train goes to Washington, right?
Right.
Good. Another one. You're from Panama, right? Say it. You're from Panama, right?
Right. Okay. Now, how do you respond if someone asks you something ending in right and you agree? They are correct.
The source shows a very common and clear way to agree is to say, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
It simply means, yes, that statement you just made is true. It confirms the information positively. And that's is just the short form, the contraction of that is.
Got it. And the pronunciation, that's right.
It sounds like that's righty. The S sound at the end of that connects smoothly to the R sound in right.
Ha.
That's right, the stress. The emphasis is usually on right. That's right.
That's right. Okay. Practice saying that's right. Say it clearly and confidently. That's right.
Good. Now, the source also uses the word correct, not just as a question, but as a way to check or confirm information, and especially as a short answer, meaning that is correct.
Right. Like when Todd asked, you must be John's cousin Matt, right? Matt's short, clear answer was just correct.
Meaning, yes, that is correct. I am John's cousin Matt. It's a very direct and unambiguous way to agree.
And remember the sound, correct, with the stress on the second part, correct. Practice saying correct. Again, say it with confidence. Correct.
Correct. Now, the source even shows that if someone states something and maybe even asks correct at the end, you can simply repeat correct back to them to agree.
Oh, really? Like question. This is room 301. Correct. Answer, correct.
Exactly. It works as a simple, strong agreement.
Okay, that covers agreeing. But what if the information is not correct? What if the person who asked right or stated something is wrong?
Ah, the negative response. The source gives us clear ways to say no politely and then provide the correct information.
How do we do that?
You can say, no, that's not right, or you can say, no, that's not correct. Both work. They are direct ways to say the information is wrong.
The key word there is not right.
Absolutely essential. The word not makes the sentence negative. Without it, you're agreeing.
Okay, let's practice saying those negative responses. Really focus on saying the word not clearly. First, no, that's not right. Say it. No, that's not right.
Oh, that's not right.
And the other way, no, that's not correct. Say it. No, that's not correct.
No, that's not correct. Good. Now, usually after you say the information is not correct, it's helpful and polite to give the correct information.
Makes sense. The source gives some examples of this.
Yes, very useful ones. For instance, no, I'm not Matt, I'm Jim. Or, no, she is my sister, she's my cousin.
Okay, let's break those down and practice them. First one, no, I'm not Matt, I'm Jim.
Focus on the negative part. I'm not. Remember, I'm sounds like aim. So I'm not sounds like aim not.
Aim not. Okay.
Now say the whole sentence slowly. No, I'm not Matt. I'm Jim.
Now say it a little faster, more naturally. No, I'm not Matt, I'm Jim. Practice that one.
Good. Now the second example, no, she isn't my sister, she's my cousin. This one has a couple of contractions.
Okay, first, isn't. What's that short for?
Isn't is the short form for is not. And it sounds like isn't with a Z sound, then int. Is, try saying isn't. And the other contraction is she's. That's short for.
She is.
Correct. And she's sounds like she's. Like the word cheese was starting with she's. She's. Try saying she's.
She's.
Okay, now the family words in that sentence. Sister. That sounds like sister. Stress on the first part. Sister.
Sister and cousin.
Cousin sounds like cousin. Stress on the first part again. Cousin.
Cousin, okay.
Right. Let's put that whole negative sentence together now very slowly. No, she isn't my sister. She's my cousin.
Okay, now try saying it a little faster, more naturally. No, she isn't my sister. She's my cousin. Practice that sentence a few times. It combines several useful pieces.
Now, remember the underlining we talked about earlier?
Yes, meaning say the word a little louder.
Exactly. The source notes that in these negative answers, words like not or isn't are often underlined. This means you should say them slightly louder.
Why?
It makes the denial, the no part, very clear and strong. It removes any doubt.
Okay, so let's practice those negative examples again, but this time, let's really make the underlined words a little louder to show that strong no. Ready?
Ready?
No, that's not right. Emphasize not. Say it. No, that's not right.
No, that's not right.
No, I'm not Matt. I'm Jim. Emphasize not. Say it. No, I'm not Matt. I'm Jim.
No, I'm not Matt. I'm Jim.
No, she isn't my sister. She's my cousin. Emphasize isn't. And also cousin to stress the correct relationship. Say it. No, she isn't my sister. She's my cousin.
No, she isn't my sister. She's my cousin. That emphasis makes a real difference in clarity.
It really does.
Yeah.
Now, there's one more interesting informal phrase related to this that the source mentions.
Yeah, right.
Ah, yes. This one is tricky because the meaning depends entirely on how you say it, on your tone of voice.
What do you mean?
Well, if someone says, yeah, right, using a special tone, a sarcastic tone, it means they absolutely do not believe what you just said is true, even though the words are yeah and right.
Sarcasm. That's when you say the opposite of what you mean, often with a funny or maybe slightly mocking tone.
Exactly. So saying yeah, right, with a happy or agreeing tone might sound like, yes, that's correct. But saying it with a doubtful, maybe drawn out, disbelieving tone, like yay, T means I don't believe you at all. That's obviously not true.
Wow. So the same words can mean the complete opposite depending on the sound?
Precisely. It's a perfect example of why pronunciation and intonation, the music of your voice, are so incredibly important in English. You really need to listen carefully, not just to the words, but how they are said.
That's a really key point for learners. Listen to the music.
Okay, let's move on to part 5. This section in the source material focuses on giving clear and sometimes more emphatic or stronger short answers to questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no.
Yes. These are called yes-no questions. And in English, we very often use short answers instead of repeating the whole long sentence back. Using these short answers is very common and makes your English sound much more natural.
So how do we form these short answers? The source first shows us how to answer questions that use the verb to be. These are questions that start with am, is, or are.
Right. The source gives some examples of these questions, like,
Are you unhappy?
or, is he sick?
Are we winning?
Are they leaving? Those kinds of questions.
Okay, so how do we answer yes to these?
The source shows that the clear and sometimes emphatic, which just means stronger or more definite, short answer uses yes. Then you say the subject of the sentence, and then you use the correct form of the verb to be.
Okay, the subject.
Yeah.
That's the person or thing the question is about, like you, he, we, they in those examples.
Exactly. And the form of the verb to be must match that subject. So for I, it's am. For he, she, or it, it's is. And for we, you, or they, it's are.
I am, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. Got it.
And, just like before, the source shows that the to be verb in the answer is underlined.
Meaning say it a little louder again?
Exactly. Say it a little louder. This makes the yes answer very clear and strong.
Okay, let's practice the positive yes answers for those example questions, remembering to emphasize the underlined to be verb.
Let's do it. First question, are you unhappy? The subject is you, so the answer is about I. The verb is am. Answer,
Yes, I am. Remember, am sounds like M. Say it. Yes, I am.
good. Next question, is he sick? Subject he, verb is Answer.
Yes, he is. Remember, is sounds like is. Say it. Yes, he is.
Perfect. Next, are we winning? Subject we, verb are. Answer.
Yes, we are. Remember, are sounds like are. Say it. Yes, we are.
Excellent. Last one. Are they leaving? Subject they, verb are. Answer.
Yes, they are. Again, are sounds like are. Say it. Yes, they are.
Fantastic. So that's the pattern for a clear yes answer to a to be question. Yes, subject, correct, to be verb, am, is, or are, and make that verb a little louder. Practice these pairs often. Are you? Yes, I am. Is he? Yes, he is.
Okay, that makes sense for yes. What about the negative answers? How do we say no to these to be questions using a short answer?
The source shows these too, and again, there's a clear pattern.
How does it work?
For negative answers, you start with no, then you say the subject, then the correct to be verb, and then you add the word not.
No, subject be not. Okay.
Now, the source gives two ways to do this. You can use the contractions, the short forms like I'm not, isn't, aren't, or you can use the full forms, I am not, is not, are not.
Ah, okay. Short form or long form? Is there a difference?
Yes, both are correct, but using the full form, I am not, is not, are not, makes the negative answer even more emphatic, even stronger. It adds extra force to the no.
And what about the underlining? Where's the emphasis?
Good question. The source underlines words in both the short and the full forms. The negative word itself, not, or the negative part of the contraction like in isn't or aren't, is always emphasized. Saying the full form just adds even more emphasis.
Okay, this sounds important for sounding clear. Let's practice the negative no answers for those same questions, emphasizing the underlined words. We'll try both the contraction and the full form.
Sounds good. First question again. Are you unhappy? How do we answer no?
Using the contraction, no, I'm not. Remember,
Go-
I'm
go-
not sounds like aim not. Say it. No, I'm not.
Good. Now using the full, stronger form, no, I am not. Say.
No, I am not.
Okay. Next question. Is he sick? Answer no.
Using the contraction, no, he isn't. Remember, isn't sounds like isn't. Say it. No, he isn't.
For the full form, no, he is not. Say it, no, he isn't.
Excellent. Next, are we winning? Answer no.
Using the contraction, no, we aren't. Remember, aren't sounds like aren't. Say it, no, we aren't.
Or the full form, no, we are not. Say it. No, we are not. Got it. Last one. Are they leaving? Answer no.
Using the contraction, no, they aren't. Say it, no, they aren't.
Or the full form, no, they are not. Say it. No, they are not.
Fantastic. Practicing these negative short answers, especially making that not or the full form louder, really helps you sound very clear and confident when you need to say no in English.
Yeah.
It leaves no room for misunderstanding.
Definitely seems useful. Okay, so that covers short answers for questions using to be, am, is, are. But what about answering yes or no questions that use other verbs? Verbs like eat, like wait, live.
Ah, yes. Most other verbs. These questions often start with the helping verbs do or does.
The source shows some examples of these types of questions.
It does, like, do you eat meat?
Or, does he like school?
Do we wait in line?
Do they live here? Questions like that.
Exactly. Now, for these types of questions, the short answer uses a different helping verb. It uses do or does in the positive yes answer and don't or doesn't in the negative no answer.
Okay, so we don't repeat the main verb like eat or like. We use do or does instead.
Precisely. Do and does are those special auxiliary or helping verbs that we use in questions and short answers for most verbs in the simple present tense.
But when do we use do versus does?
Simple rule. We use does for he, she, and it. We use do for I, you, we, and they.
Does for he, shite, do for the rest. Got it.
And just like with the to be verbs, the source shows that these helping verbs, do, does, don't, and doesn't, are underlined in the short answers.
Meaning, say them a little louder.
You got to say them a little louder for clarity and emphasis.
Okay, let's practice the positive yes answers for these dodos questions, emphasizing the underlined helping verb, do or does.
Let's go. First question, do you eat meat? The subject is you, so we use do. Answer.
Yes, I do. Remember, do sounds like do. Say it. Yes, I do.
Perfect. Next question. Does he like school? The subject is he, so we use does. Answer.
Yes, he does. Remember, does sounds like does. Say it. Yes, he does.
Great. Next. Do we wait in line? Subject we use do. Answer.
Yes, we do. Say it. Yes, we do.
Excellent. Last one. Do they live here? Subject they use do.
Answer.
Yes, they do. Say it. Yes, they do.
Fantastic. Practice those positive short answers using do and does. You'll hear them constantly in English conversation. Do you? Yes, I do. Does she? Yes, she does.
Okay, makes sense. Now for the negative no answers for these dodos questions, how do they work?
Very similar pattern. You say no, then the subject, and then the negative helping verb don't or doesn't.
And don't is short for,
I do not.
and doesn't is short for.
Does not. Remember, doesn't is for he, she, it. Don't is for I, you, we, they.
Got it. And the emphasis.
Just like with the to be negatives, the negative words don't and doesn't are underlined in the source. So say them louder. Make your no really clear.
Okay, let's practice the negative answers, emphasizing the underlined word don't or doesn't.
Ready. First question again. Do you eat meat? Answer no. No, I don't. Remember, don't sounds like don't tat. Say it. No, I don't.
Good. Next, does he like school? Answer no.
No, he doesn't. Remember, doesn't sounds like doesn't. Say it. No, he doesn't.
Great. Next, do we wait in line? Answer no.
No, we don't. Say it. No, we don't.
Excellent. Last one, do they live here? Answer no.
No, they don't. Say it. No, they don't.
Perfect. This whole system of using dodos, don't, doesn't, or the forms of to be, imasardi isn't inherent in short answers is really fundamental to natural-sounding spoken English.
And remembering to emphasize that helping verb or the to be verb slightly, especially in the negative answers, just makes your meaning super clear.
It really does. It adds that little bit of confidence and avoids confusion.
Let's quickly repeat just the positive short answers we practice using both systems. Just hear them side by side. Repeat after us. Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Practice those pairs of sounds and structures.
Great. We've covered a lot. Introductions, responses, checking information, using right and correct, and now these really important short answers based on the clear rules from the source.
We have. Now let's maybe go back to the rest of Todd and Matt's conversation, the example dialogue, to see how some of these pieces and maybe some other simple phrases are used together in a slightly longer, more flowing example.
Good idea. Let's pick up where we left off. Matt had just responded, "Happy to meet you too," and mentioned hearing about Todd being a football player and party animal.
Right. Now, Matt talks a bit about his own interest to sort of balance the conversation. He says, well, I'm more of a surfer than a football player. You know, San Diego has a fantastic coast, and we can surf all day and then party on the beach at night.
Okay, let's look at that. I'm more of a surfer than a football player. What's he saying there?
He's comparing his interests. He means that surfing is his main hobby, his main activity. It's more important to him, or he does it more, than playing football. He identifies more as a surfer.
Gotcha. Then he describes San Diego. He says it has a fantastic coast. What does fantastic mean?
Fantastic is a very common informal word in English.
Right.
It just means very, very good, excellent, wonderful, amazing. It shows strong, positive feeling.
And a coast?
The coast is land that is right next to the sea or the ocean. So a fantastic coast is a really beautiful and excellent area by the ocean, probably meaning it has great beaches, maybe good waves for surfing, beautiful views.
Okay, let's practice the word fantastic. F-A-N-T-A-S-T-I-C. How does it sound?
It sounds like fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
3 parts, 3 syllables. Fantastic. Try saying fantastic.
Fantastic, okay. And the word coast. C-O-A-S-T.
That one sounds like coast. It rhymes with words like post or most, but it starts with a K sound. Coast. Try saying coast.
It's coast.
Okay, so San Diego has a fantastic coast. Then Matt describes his activities there. Yes, we can surf all day and then party on the beach at night. Simple descriptions. Surf all day means spending the whole day surfing. Party on the beach at night means having parties on the sand next to the ocean after the sun goes down.
Sounds like fun. Let's practice the word surfer. S-U-R-F-E-R.
Sounds like surfer, 2 syllables. The stress is on the first part. Surf, surfer. Try saying surfer.
Surfer. And party. P-A-R-T-Y.
Sounds like party. Stress on the first part. Par. Party. Try saying party.
Party. Okay. So Matt paints a picture of his life in San Diego. How does Todd respond?
Todd responds with a very common phrase showing enthusiasm and then asks a logical follow-up question. He says, "That sounds awesome. How long are you staying?"
That sounds awesome. Let's look at that first. What does awesome mean?
Awesome is another very, very common informal word, especially in American English, used to say you think something is great, wonderful, really cool, or very exciting. It shows strong positive reaction, similar to fantastic.
Okay. Awesome. A-W-E-S-O-M-E. How do we pronounce that?
It sounds like awesome, 2 syllables. The first part, ah, sounds like the sound you make when you see something amazing, like or ah. The second part, some, sounds like some, S-U-M, like adding numbers, some. The stress is on the first part, awesome.
Awesome. Try saying awesome. Now, the whole phrase, that sounds awesome. Practice saying it with some energy. Like Todd, that sounds awesome.
Great. Then Todd asks a very practical, common question when someone is visiting. How long are you staying?
This asks about the duration, right? How many days or weeks?
Exactly. How much time will Matt be there?
Okay, the word staying. S-T-A-Y-I-N-G. How does that sound?
It sounds like staying. 2 syllables. Stay, like the verb meaning to remain in a place. Then the ing ending, which sounds like ing, staying. The stress is on the first part. Stay. Staying. Try saying staying.
Staying. Now, the whole question, how long are you staying? Practice asking that question. It's very useful when meeting visitors.
Definitely. So how does Matt answer Todd's question about how long he's visiting?
Matt gives quite a detailed answer about his plans. He says, well, I'll be here for 2 weeks. John has promised me a nonstop schedule. Kind of a mix of sightseeing, meeting his friends, checking out the local scene, and hopefully camping in the mountains for a couple of days.
Wow, that is a long sentence. Let's break it down into smaller pieces, okay?
Good idea. First part. Well, I'll be here for 2 weeks.
I'll be. That's the short form, the contraction for I will be. Is talking about a future plan. I'll sounds like eel, like the fish, or maybe just all. I'll, and be sounds like be, I'll be. Try saying I'll be.
I'll be. Okay. I'll be here for 2 weeks. That means his visit is 14 days long.
Correct. Then he says, John has promised me a nonstop schedule.
Nonstop schedule. What does that mean?
A nonstop schedule means a plan that is packed full of activities, one right after another, with very little free time or rest. Very busy from morning till night. Nonstop is pretty clear. Nonstop.
And the word schedule. S-C-H-E-D-U-L-E. Remind us of the pronunciation.
Sure. In American English, it most often sounds like schedule. 2 syllables. Sked, like S-K-E-D, and jewel, like J-O-L. Schedule. The stress is on the first part. Schedule. Try saying schedule.
Schedule. Nonstop schedule. It sounds tiring.
It does. Then Matt says his schedule is kind of a mix of different things.
Mix of. Does that mean a combination?
Exactly. A combination, a variety, a group of different types of activities all put together.
And he lists the activities. Sightseeing, meeting his friends, checking out the local scene, and camping in the mountains. Let's look at those. What's sightseeing?
Sightseeing is the activity of visiting the interesting and famous places in a city or area when you are a tourist. Things like museums, monuments, historical buildings, famous parks, seeing the sights.
Sightseeing, how does it sound?
It sounds like sightseeing, 3 syllables. Sight like S-I-T-E-C,
Yeah.
like S-E-E, and ing like I-N-G. Sightseeing. The stress is on the first part, sight. Sightseeing. Try saying sightseeing.
Sightseeing, okay. Meeting his friends is clear. What about checking out the local scene. That sounds informal.
It is informal. Checking out the local scene means exploring the popular and interesting places, activities, restaurants, bars, music venues, neighborhoods, the culture where the people who actually live in the area usually go, not just the tourist spots.
Ah, okay. Seeing how local people live and have fun. How does local scene sound?
Sounds like locale scene. Local sounds like locale. Stress on the first part, local. Scene sounds like SCENE, scene, local scene. The stress is usually on local. Local scene. Try saying local scene.
Local scene. Got it. Then he says, and hopefully camping in the mountains. What does hopefully mean?
Hopefully means I hope this will happen. Matt isn't 100% sure about the camping trip, but he hopes it will be possible. It expresses a wish for the future.
And the sound hopefully.
Sounds like hopefully.
Hey!
3 syllables. Stress on the first part. Hope. Hopefully. Try saying hopefully.
Hopefully. And camping in the mountains.
Camping is sleeping outside, usually in tents. Mountains are very high, rocky areas of land. So sleeping outside in tents in the mountains.
How do those words sound? Camping.
Camping sounds like camping. Stress on the first part, camp.
Yeah.
Camping.
And mountains.
Mountains usually sounds like mountains. Stress on the first part, mountains. Mountains. Camping in the mountains.
Okay. And the very last part of his plan was for a couple of days. What does a couple of days mean?
A couple of days usually means exactly 2 days. The phrase a couple of is a very common way to say two or sometimes a few, like 2 or 3.
How does a couple of sound? It seems like it might run together.
It often does. It can sound like oh, couple.
Yeah.
The word couple sounds like couple, stress on coup. Try saying couple of days.
A couple of days. Okay, that was a lot packed into one answer from Matt.
It was. But notice again how it uses many simple words and common phrases combined together. I'll be 2 weeks, non-stop schedule, mix of sightseeing, local scene, hopefully camping, a couple of days. It shows how you build longer ideas from smaller pieces.
That's a good point. Okay, so Matt has laid out his busy 2-week plan. How does Todd respond to all this?
Todd responds by reassuring Matt, saying nice things about John, their mutual friend, and offering help. He says, John's a good guy, and you can be sure he knows the local scene. He knows everybody in town. I'm sure he'll show you a good time, and his friends are here to help.
Okay, first part. John's a good guy. What does good guy mean?
It's an informal way of saying John is a nice person, a friendly person, someone easy to like and trust. Guy is a very common informal word for a man.
And how does guy sound? G-U-Y?
Sounds like baggy. It rhymes with or sky. Gay. Try saying guy. John's a good guy.
John's a good guy. Okay. Then Todd says, you can be sure he knows the local scene.
You can be sure means you can feel confident about this. It is definitely true. It's reassuring. The word sure sounds like sure. Try saying sure.
Sure, okay. He knows the local scene connects back to what Matt said. Then he knows everybody in town.
Everybody means all the people. In town means in this city or local area. Everybody sounds like everybody. 4 syllables. Stress on the first part. Everybody. Try saying everybody.
Everybody. So John knows everyone. Then Todd says, I'm sure he'll show you a good time. What does show you a good time mean?
That phrase means John will make sure Matt enjoys his visit, has fun, has good experiences, does enjoyable things. It's a promise of enjoyment.
And he'll, that's short for.
He will. It sounds like he'll. H-E-L. Try saying he'll.
He'll, okay. And Todd finishes with, and his friends are here to help.
Right. This includes Todd himself. It's a kind offer, meaning Todd and probably other friends of John are available and happy to assist Matt if he needs anything during his visit. Advice, directions, company, anything.
Yeah, that's very welcoming. Okay, what's Matt's final line in this part of the conversation? How does he react to Todd's kind offer?
Matt responds with thanks and explains how he's feeling right now.
Yeah.
He says, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. I'm still a bit jet-lagged at the moment, but should be in good shape by tomorrow.
Thanks so much. That's a common way to say thank you very much, right?
Yes, very common, very polite.
Then he says, I really appreciate that. Is that stronger than thanks?
Yes, I really appreciate that is generally a stronger way to express gratitude. It means, thank you very much. That offer or kindness is very meaningful to me. The word appreciate itself shows deeper thanks.
Let's practice appreciate. It looks long. Appreciate.
Sounds like a pre-she, 4 syllables. Then pre, like P-R-E, then she, like S-H-E, then A-T, like the number 8. Pre-she, he. The stress is on the second syllable, pre. Appreciate. Try saying appreciate.
To appreciate. Okay. Now the whole phrase, I really appreciate that. Practice saying that. It's a great phrase to know.
Definitely. Then Matt explains why he might seem a bit tired. I'm still a bit jet-lagged at the moment.
Jet lagged. What does that mean again?
Jet-lagged is the feeling you get after a long airplane flight across different time zones. You feel tired, maybe confused, because your body's internal clock is still set to your home time, not the new time.
Ah, okay. And the sound? Jet lagged.
Sounds like jet-lagged. 2 parts. Jet, like the airplane. Lagged, like L-A-G-G-E-D. Jet-lagged. The stress is on the first part. Jet-lagged. Try saying a jet-lagged.
Jet lagged. Okay. I'm still a bit jet lagged. A bit just means a little.
Yes, a bit means a little or slightly. At the moment. What does that mean?
At the moment is a common phrase that just means now or right now at this particular time.
And how does moment sound? M-O-M-E-N-T.
Sounds like moment,
Yeah,
stress on the
yeah.
first part. Moment, at the moment. Try saying at the moment.
Good. So Matt is a bit tired now, but he finishes by saying, but should be in good shape by tomorrow. What does in good shape mean here?
Ah, this is an idiom. Remember, an idiom is a phrase where the meaning isn't obvious just from the words. In good shape here doesn't mean his body is fit. It means feeling well, feeling healthy and energetic, feeling okay again, recovered from the jet lag.
Okay, so feeling better and by tomorrow means sometime before or during the day tomorrow.
Got it. How does in good shape sound?
Sounds like in good shape. Try saying in good shape.
In good shape. So the whole conversation example from Todd's first hi to Matt saying he'll be in good shape really shows how these simple phrases and ideas fit together naturally.
It absolutely does. We saw introductions asking about someone's visit, how long are you staying, describing things, fantastic coast, nonstop schedule, awesome, expressing thanks so much, I really appreciate that, and talking about how you feel jet-lagged, in good shape. It's all built from those basic pieces.
Okay, let's look at the very, very end of the conversation now, part 7 in the outline. This is where Todd shows some continued kindness and they think about the future visit. Matt says he is looking forward to hearing what John has in store for me.
Ah, the phrase looking forward to. This is an extremely useful and common phrase in
What
English.
does it mean, looking forward to?
It means you feel happy and excited about something that is going to happen in the future. You are anticipating it with pleasure.
Okay, looking forward to. How does it sound?
It often sounds like looking forward to. The stress is usually on look and for. Looking forward to. Let's say it slowly. Looking forward to.
Now, practice saying the whole phrase structure. I'm looking forward to. You can finish it with many things. I'm looking forward to my vacation. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Practice. I'm looking forward to.
Very useful phrase. And Matt says he's looking forward to hearing what John has in store for me. What does has in store for me mean?
That's another common phrase, maybe slightly idiomatic. What someone has in store for you means what someone has planned for you, or what experiences or surprises someone is ready to give you.
So what John has planned for Matt's visit. Got it.
And finally, Todd responds with some reassuring words and a friendly, joking promise about visiting Matt later. He says, "Don't worry, We'll all take good care of you. And don't be surprised if we show up on your doorstep in San Diego one day, ready for surfing.
Okay, first part. Don't worry.
Don't worry. This is a very common phrase you say to tell someone not to feel anxious or scared or stressed about something. It's meant to be comforting.
How does it sound? Don't worry.
Sounds like don't worry. Don't like D-O-N-T. Worry. Like W-O-R-Y. Worry. The stress is mainly on don't. Don't worry. Try saying don't worry.
Don't worry. Okay, then we'll all take good care of you.
This is a very kind promise. Take good care of someone means you will help them, protect them, make sure they are safe and comfortable and have what they need. You'll look after them well.
And will,
Yep.
short for...
We will. Well, it sounds like we'll. Try saying we'll take good care of you.
That's very reassuring. Then Todd adds a playful warning. And don't be surprised if we show up on your doorstep in San Diego one day, ready for surfing.
Don't be surprised means it's possible this might happen, so if it does, you shouldn't be shocked.
And show up on your doorstep. That sounds like another idiom.
It is. Show up on your doorstep means to arrive at someone's home, often without planning it far in advance or even telling them you are coming first. It's usually used in a friendly, informal way, suggesting an unexpected but welcome visit.
So Todd is joking they might just appear at Matt's house in San Diego someday. How does doorstep sound?
D-O-O-R-S-T-E.
Sounds like doorstep. Or like D-O-R. Step like S-T-E.
Oh,
The stress is on the first part. Door. Doorstep. Try saying doorstep. Show up on your doorstep.
got it. And finishing with ready for surfing is a nice touch, right?
Yeah, it brings the conversation full circle. Back to Matt's main interest, surfing. It ends on a friendly, connected note. Wow. Okay, so we have really covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? A lot of very basic but incredibly important English for starting conversations.
We really have. We used that conversation example between Todd and Matt and also the clear rules and explanations provided in the source material you shared with us.
We looked at the essential ways to introduce yourself using simple phrases like I'm or my names.
And how to introduce others. This is for one person.
Right.
And these are for more than one.
And we learned those crucial polite responses when you meet someone new. Glad to meet you and happy to meet you.
And remembering to add that little word to if they said it to you first. Happy to meet you too.
We practiced checking if information is correct, using that simple tag, right, at the end of a sentence.
And using correct both to ask and to confirm.
And how to agree using that's right, or just repeating correct.
And importantly, how to clearly say no if the information is wrong, using phrases like, no, that's not right, or no, that's not correct, and then giving the correct information.
And we spent quite a bit of time practicing how to give those clear, sometimes stronger, short yes or no answers to questions.
Yeah, remembering the pattern for to be questions. Yes, I am. No, he isn't. And for Dodo's questions. Yes, we do. No, they don't.
And remembering to emphasize that key verb, the am, is, are, do, does, isn't, don't, to make your answer really clear.
We used the whole conversation between Todd and Matt meeting at that party to see how all these simple phrases actually get used together in a real back and forth.
And throughout, we focused on practicing the pronunciation of the key words and phrases, listening for the sounds, the stress, the intonation.
Because remember, for learning English, especially these really fundamental first steps, practicing saying the words out loud is probably the single most important thing you can do.
Absolutely. Try to say these phrases yourself. Say them slowly at first. Pay close attention to the sounds we practiced together. Think about where the source showed words should be said a little louder.
And repeat them. Repeat them many, many times until they start to feel comfortable coming out of your mouth.
And please, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes with pronunciation, mistakes with using the phrases, it's totally normal.
Yeah.
Every mistake is just a step on the path towards speaking more clearly and more confidently. The key is to keep trying, keep practicing.
Okay, so here's something for you to think about as you finish listening today. Just a little takeaway task. Out of all the simple English phrases we covered, saying your name, I'm, introducing someone, this is, saying you're happy to meet someone, glad to meet you, asking, right, or giving one of those short answers, yes, I do, no, I'm not. Which one feels the easiest to you right now?
Yeah, which one feels like, okay, I could try that one?
Think about which one you could maybe try using first, perhaps even today or tomorrow, if you have a chance to speak even a tiny bit of English.
Because these simple phrases, they might seem small, but they are really powerful tools for just opening the door to conversation. Keep listening for them when you hear English around you in movies, in music, online.
And please, try to use them yourself whenever you get the chance. Even just saying, hi, I'm your name is a huge step. The more you use them, the easier and more natural they will become.
That's the goal, right? Making it feel natural.
Exactly. So that's it for this deep dive into basic English conversation starters and responses. We truly hope this slow, focused look at the sounds and phrases helps you feel more confident taking these important first steps in speaking English.
Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep exploring. Remember, practice makes progress. You absolutely can do it.
Goodbye for now.